Namaste to everyone. The present Kumbh Mela, which is taking place from 13th January 2025 to 12th January 2026. 12th January 2026 is having a great importance. This Maha Kumbh Mela is happening after 1000 to 1200 years. It is not 144 years. Maha Kumbh Mela. Many are not aware of it. Now, in this discussion, first time we are going to discuss why this Kumbh Mela is very important and happening 1000 to 1200 years after. In future, also, after 1000 to 1200 years after only, it is going to happen. So, it is not 144 years of Kumbh Mela. It is more than 1000 years of importance present Kumbh Mela is having. That is why in my previous discussions I have told this Kumbh Mela is having the sacredness of 1 year period. Another important sacredness of this Maha Kumbh Mela for 1000 to 1200 years is 2 Paush Purnimas are coming within this 1 year period. That is really happening after 1000 to 1200 years. How it is happening? Now let us look into the details of this discussion, which is a very important discussion for the people all over the world. Not only for Hindus, for all over the world, people should know about the importance of the Maha Kumbh Mela for 1 year period and having 2 Paush Purnimas. That is my submission to the people, not only for India but all over the world. To prepare for this present discussion, I have spent more than 2 months' time by referring different Vedic texts and also scientific researchers' documents. I am a professor of anthropology and future studies. I have a limited knowledge of this Vedic and astrological discussions. Definitely there will be some mistakes I would have made. Please excuse me if there is any mistakes. You can correct the mistakes and inform the devotees if there are any mistakes. Now let us proceed to the discussion. The 2025-2026 Maha Kumbh Mela is rarely a rare extraordinary event in the history. Hindu spiritual gatherings, while Maha Kumbh itself follows a 144-year cycle. This particular occurrence is made even more special due to the presence of 2 Paush Purnimas, celestial alignments that may not have occurred for over thousands of years and may not happen again for another millennium. By examining the planetary movements, Vedic time calculations and spiritual references, we can understand why this Kumbh Mela holds immense spiritual significance. First, let us understand the Maha Kumbh Mela cycle of 144 years rule. Maha Kumbh Mela occurs once every 144 years when the Jupiter, that is Brihaspati, enters Aries, that is Mesha Rashi, and the Sun enters Capricorn, that is Makara Rashi. This planetary conjunction is considered extremely auspicious, making the perfect time for Kumbh Snana, that is sacred bath. 144-year cycle. This cycle is derived from complex calculations based on Jupiter's 12-year revolution around the Sun and the alignment of the lunar calendar with the solar cycle. Kumbh Mela types. Maha Kumbh Mela 144 years, the rarest. 1. Purna Kumbh Mela 12 years once, that is a complete cycle. Ardha Kumbh Mela, that is 6 years once, half cycle 1. Maha Kumbh Mela, a yearly gathering with lesser significance. Now let us have a discussion on why the 2025 and 2026 Maha Kumbh Mela is special. This particular Kumbh Mela is exceptionally rare because it includes 2 Paush Purnimas, an event that may not have occurred for at least 1000 to 1200 years and may not happen again for another millennium. Why 2 Paush Purnimas? in Maha Kumbh Mela is rare. The lunar calendar mentions the variations like this. Hindu calendars follow lunar solar system, meaning that the full moon, that is Purnami, falls approximately every 29.53 days. However, due to adjustment in the lunar calendar, an extra month, that is Adhika Masa, is inserted approximately once every 2.7 years to synchronize the lunar and solar years. Paush Purnima, full moon in Pausha month, typically occurs only once in a given Kumbh Mela period. For two Pusha Purnimas to occur, the calendar must align with the extra lunar month, that is Adhika Masa, in the same Kumbha cycle. This requires an extremely precise synchronization of Jupiter's cycle, the sun's transit, and the lunar calendar. The probability of this alignment is based on the celestial cycles like Jupiter's 12-year cycle. Jupiter takes 12 years to complete one revolution around the sun. Every 144 years, Jupiter returns to the same position in Aries, that is Mesha Rasi, marking a Maha Kumbh Mela. The Metonic cycle, that is the solar lunar cycles, which happens 19 years once. The Metonic cycle states that every 19 years the lunar calendar almost perfectly aligns with the solar calendar. However, perfect synchronization with the Pausha Purnima and Jupiter positions take much longer. Third, Adhika Masa, intercalary month in Hindu calendar, minus 32.5 months rule. In extra lunar month, Adhika Masa occurs every 32.5 months. This correction helps align the Hindu lunar calendar with the solar year, but only occasionally causes two Pausha Purnimas in the same Kumbha period. The fourth one is Saros cycle, that is eclipse and full moon recurrence in 18 years, 11 days and 8 hours. The fourth probability is the Saros cycle predicts the recurrence of eclipse and full moons in the same position. Even when considering this cycle, precise double Pusha Purnima within a Kumbha period remains rare. By combining these two cycles, Jupiter 144 years Kumbh Mela cycle, lunar solar drift, that's Minotic and Adhika Masa, and Saros, that is eclipse cycle, which is forming 1,000 years plus years for such an alignment to repeat. The key calculations of this two Pausha Purnimas appearance is the Hindu calendar requires corrections roughly every 300 to 400 years due to drift. A precise match of Maha Kumbh Mela to Pausha Purnimas and Adhika Masa adjustments can take over 1000 to 1200 years to repeat again. See the nature's beauty, how the Maha Kumbh Mela is happening over a period of 1000 to 1200 years. Now let us look into the Vedic calculations of time and rare occurrences, how it is happening. Vedic text and rare cycles, what it says. Brahmananda Purana and Garuda Purana describes the importance of celestial timings for sacred rituals. The Surya Siddhanta, an ancient astronomical text, outlines the corrections needed for aligning the solar and lunar calendars over thousands of years. The Bhavishya Purana mentions that exceptional planetary alignments bring about rare spiritual opportunities, sometimes only once in thousands of years. Based on these texts, such an alignment is an astronomical and spiritual rarity. Now, let us look into the estimating the exact rarity, how many years until this is happening again. To estimate how often two Pusha Purnimas aligns with a Maha Kumbha, we must consider, or we can able to probably predict that the 144-year Kumbh Mela cycle, the 12-year cycle of Jupiter's revolution, the validity of lunar calendar. Using these, we derive an approximate recurrence period. A single Paush Purnima occurs every year. The presence of two Paush Purnimas within a single Kumbha window depends on the alignment of solar, lunar and planetary cycles. Since the solar-lunar cycle reset approximately every 1000 to 1200 years, such a phenomenon is exceedingly very rare. Scientific estimation using astronomical cycles. The Metonic cycle align the lunar and solar years, but for two Paush Purnimas to occur in a Maha Kumbh period, this needs to coincide with Jupiter's 12-year orbit and the 144-year Kumbha cycle. This rare convergence means that such an event may not happen at least 1000 years and may not happening again for another 1000 to 1200 years. Now let us look into the spiritual support for this analysis from Vedic and Puranic references. The scriptural references Garuda Purana on sacred bathing mentions like this. Snanena sarva papani yanti satyam padamyaham trigunam karmanam punyam trigunam danato bhavat. The meaning of this sloka is, by taking a bath, all sins are washed away. This I declare as truth. The merit of good deeds is multiplied threefold and charity is enhanced threefold. This verse signifies the heightened spiritual potency of a ritual bathing during rare celestial alignment. Another sloka from Brihat Samhita on celestial event mentions like this. Grahanancha Visheshana Samyogo Mangalaya Vai. The meaning of this sloka is, the specific conjunction of planets bring auspicious results. This text highlights the extraordinary nature of astrological confirmations like the presence of Jupiter's in Aries, which enhances the sanctity of the Maha Kumbh Mela period. Another sloka from Bhavishya Purana mentions like this on Kumbh Mela. Maghe meshe bruhaspatau gangayamamrutam bhavat. The meaning of this sloka is, when Jupiter enters Aries during the month of Megha, the Ganges water turns into nectar. This sloka explicitly states that bathing in Ganges during such a time is spiritually transformative. See how Vedas and Puranas discusses on the sacredness of taking bath during this auspicious period. Now let us know how rare this event is. The Maha Kumbh Mela aligned with Jupiter in Aries and Sun in Capricorn occurs every 144 years. The presence of two Paush Purnimas within the same Maha Kumbha cycle adds another layer of rarity. Considering astronomical cycle, this combination might not have occurred for thousands of years and may not recur for another millennium or more. Thus, the present Maha Kumbh Mela of 2025-2026 is an extraordinary celestial event, making it once in a millennium occurrence in terms of spiritual potency and cosmic significance. The 2025-2026 Maha Kumbh Mela is not just a rare but a once in a millennium event due to Maha Kumbha occurring after 144 years. Presence of two Paush Purnimas, a celestial alignment almost never seen in recorded history. Astronomical calculations shows that recurrence only after another 1000 plus years. Scriptural references indicating the unparalleled spiritual energy of such an event. The 2025-2026 Maha Kumbh Mela is not just a sacred festival but a once in a millennium event. This rare conjunction of Jupiter in Aries, the Sun in Capricorn, and the occurrence of two Paush Purnimas make it an unparalleled spiritual opportunity. Spiritual references affirm that such a celestial alignment enhances the divine potency of rituals, making this Kumbh Mela a powerful moment for spiritual awakening. Given its astronomical and spiritual rarity, participating in this Kumbh Mela is an opportunity that may not arise again for another thousands of years. Hope you have enjoyed this discussion. This is a rare event which is happening at Prayagraj after thousands of years, not after 144 years. Know the secret of it. I request you, all the people in the entire world, you can take bath from January 13th, 2025 to 12th January 2026. For 1 year period, you will be having same sacredness and mystical powers of Triveni Sangama. I have already discussed about the sanctity and purity and the mystical powers of sacred water of Triveni Sangama at Prayagraj by comparing the modern scientific research, particularly the studies of Dr. Mesaro Yamato and Dr. Luke Montigar, comparing with Vedas and Itihasas about the mystical powers of sacred water. Friends, you can have sacred bath at your convenient time during this entire 1 year period. The Garuda Purana chapter on holy baths mentions Samvatsare Mahasnanam Yavat Kumbha Virajate. The meaning of this sloka is, as long as the Kumbh Mela shines, that is continues in the year, the great holy bath takes place. The phrase emphasizes the spiritual significance of the Mahasnanam, that is sacred bath during Kumbh Mela, which occurs as long as the divine event is in progress. It highlights the connection between the celestial alignments and the auspicious of the festival of Maha Kumbh Mela. This sloka clearly indicates that the holy bath remains meritorious for a year as long as the celestial Kumbh alliance exists. That is, as the present Kumbh Mela came after 1000 to 1200 years. Alliance exists for a period of 1 year. The festival occurs when Jupiter enters Aquarius Kumbh Rishi, Sun enters Aries, that is Mesha Rasi, Moon aligns with specific nakshatras, that is lunar constellations. This configuration creates an environment of heightened spiritual power, making the waters of the rivers at Kumbh located charged with divine energy for a whole year. The scientific and mystical viewpoints also, if you observe, it stands for period of 1 year because it is a Maha Kumbh Mela. The scientific studies suggest that during Kumbh Mela, the mineral content and electronic properties of this river change, possibly due to the mass prayers and the celestial influences. Vedic seers believed that water has memory and can store spiritual vibrations. Thus, during the Kumbh Mela, for 1 year period of bathing in this water is believed to erase past karmic sins, recharge the body energy centers, that is chakras, enhance spiritual awareness and devotion. So, you look into these aspects of mentioning in Puranas, Vedas and Itihasas and historical documents. There is no fixed dates has been mentioned historically or Vedically. Of course, for administrative purpose, the government has fixed the dates of Maha Kumbh Mela from 13th January 2020 for 45 days. But its sanctity remains for 1 year. I hope you have enjoyed this discussion. If you like it, please forward it to your friends, relatives and group people to know more about this discussion. Please subscribe this channel to more about Hindu culture and civilization. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope we will be meeting another discussion on 2 Paush Purnimas and also the sacredness of 12th January 2026 Paush Purnima, the importance of it, how 12th January 2026 Paush Purnima is more sacred than 13th January 2025. a in-depth analysis I have made and will be going to be presented in coming discussions. Thank you very much. Thank you.